Hey Villa fam, you're back with Two Village Girls for the final episode of season 5 of Honest Conversations. I'm Serena.
And I'm Angie.
As we conclude talking about growth and change from the lenses of childcare workers, this week we will be telling you about things kids should know before adulthood.
Going into adulthood, me and Serena have learned and observed different things that we should have known
Mm,
before coming to adulthood. So today we're gonna talk about some of the things we think that kids should learn before, going to adulthood. So
yeah.
at first we're just gonna start with, at home, in the house. Things in the house that I feel like kids should know or learn before becoming an adult and moving out on their own and going to venture off on their own. So first we're gonna start with laundry. Some people didn't learn to separate their clothes before putting them in the washing machine, or what type of products you can put into those clothes inside the washing machine. So I feel like one thing that we should learn or we should teach our kids at home is how to separate those clothes. Like have your kids by you while you washing clothes so that they know okay, whites go with whites and only bleach can go in the white stuff. Color, light clothes go with light clothes, and they will only go on um warm.
Yeah. That was a big one for me and my husband. Um, we knew how to do laundry basically, throw it in the wash, pour
Yeah.
some detergent on it,
Mhm.
call it a day. Um, no one really gave us the lowdown on why you should be separating your colored clothes from your white clothes.
Mhm.
So there's been a lot of white clothes that have been ruined by reds and
Yeah.
blues and different things. And then something as simple separating your delicates
Mhm.
from your heavy
Yeah.
clothes.
Mhm.
That was something I learned as an adult as well. Um, where bras, for example, bras being in with heavier clothes, they get all the padding gets all messed
Yeah.
up,
Mhm.
um, and the wires come out
Yep.
quicker that way. There's actually um, bra bags
Oh, I didn't
that
know.
you can put your bras in before throwing them in the wash, and they're supposed to help protect the bras from the machine.
Okay.
I learned that one probably a year ago.
True.
But they make those so that way when you're washing them, they don't get too tossed and turned
Yeah.
and separated or tangled up with anything else, because that also happens.
When I was younger, my grandmother had us doing a lot of different things around the house.
Mm.
So we was washing clothes a lot. So we knew to not to separate, white clothes from those things, or separate, put the heavy clothes by themselves and wipe wash the underclothes with, light things and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandmother did teach us those things. So I know how to wash clothes. It's just when you get with your partner, like my partners and stuff, and they be washing clothes, I just be like, who, why, who
True.
taught you? That's how I be feeling. But I just feel like it's just with washing, I feel like people just want to be done. So they just will throw
Yeah.
everything in the washing machine. Here, put a little something in there and let it wash for real.
um,
Um,
Also, the dryer, making sure that
mm,
when you dry your clothes, you empty the dryer lint from it every time, because that stuff is flammable.
mm-hmm.
It is very flammable. You need to make sure you're cleaning that out of the dryer. It is very important that you don't let that overfill and risk that in your household. Um,
And dryers
oh,
also shrink clothes. I don't know if
absolutely.
kids know that, or I don't know if I knew that when I was a child.
Mm-mm.
But that heat on the dryer, all of that heat, it be it shrinks your clothes sometimes. Your
Yeah.
pants, my pants especially, start shrinking my pants, and it just be like, why is my sweatpants hot waters now? And it's just because of the
Yes.
heat.
Yes.
So
Definitely.
yeah.
Mm-mm. Another thing that kids should know how to do is make some basic recipes for themselves. And basic recipes are those things that can be done in 5-10 minutes, something quick and easy to make sure that they're still eating. And that includes eggs, pancakes, spaghetti. And I think it's important to know how to season and cook basic meats like chicken, um, beef, whether it's like steak or ground beef or something,
Yeah.
and pork,
Yeah.
because those, I feel like those three meats are like your basic
Yeah, it
meats that you
is.
can put with anything. You can put those
Mm-hmm.
with rice. Rice needs to be on this list too, actually, because I cannot make rice. But knowing these things are like great foundations for making bigger meals,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or at least filling meals. Because, like I said, you can pair like chicken with anything, beef
Mm-hmm.
with anything, pork with anything, and have a full meal that can also probably last you like a good 2 days.
True. I feel like the food thing is a big thing. Like knowing how to cook is a big thing
Mm-hmm.
to me, because especially because I don't know how to cook, and I wish, like I wish I was in the kitchen with my grandmother when she was cooking all the time, because my grandmother she always cooked dinner and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I should know how to cook these certain things, because my grandmother always in the kitchen. Like I should have been too. But like I really do agree. Like these basic recipes, we all should know, because like when we get older and we move out of our parents' house and we go to live on our own, or we go and stay in dorms for college or whatever the case may be, you're gonna be hungry, and you
Yeah.
can't go and say, "Oh, mommy, can you fix me this?" Like, mommy's not gonna be there, so it's just like you need to know how to fix these certain things. And to me, breakfast food is the easiest thing to
Mm-hmm.
fix. Like I'm not a big cook, so breakfast I will go in the kitchen and fix some breakfast before I can go in there and cook some dinner.
True.
So if anything, start with breakfast. I would start with breakfast. Start cooking some breakfast food, because eggs is easy to cook. Learning how to cook sausage is easy to cook. Bacon. Learn how to, even though I don't eat bacon, learn how to cook bacon is easy to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just those little things. Like Serena said, seasoning, learning how to season basic meats. I'm pretty sure I didn't learn how to like wash and season meat until I was older.
That's important.
Probably,
Washing the meat.
yeah. A lot of people don't know that you have to wash your meat either, but
Mm-hmm.
you gotta wash your meat and season it properly. So
Get all
those are
the
all things we need to learn, or kids need to learn before like hitting that 18 mark.
absolutely. Growing up, like a big thing that I was taught, which is why I didn't learn how to cook much until I was like late teens,
Mm-hmm.
um, was that like I wasn't allowed to be in the kitchen while cooking.
Yeah, that's.
Um,
I hear that a lot.
a lot of families, I don't know if
Yeah.
that's like a black family thing or if it's just a general family thing, but growing up, I wasn't allowed to be in the kitchen while cooking. Um, whether to interfere or to ask
Yeah.
questions and just be in the way. It was just not allowed for kids to be in the kitchen while the adults were in the kitchen cooking.
But
So,
it should be a thing. That
yeah.
should be a thing. Like, I mean, I know it's not safe for kids to be, around the stove and stuff. But once they get to a certain age, like, I don't want to say 10,
Yeah.
10, 11. As soon as they get up there, like, be in the kitchen, because at that age, they can fix some eggs. They can be on the stove and fix some eggs or something like that. As long as they got their parents watching them, supervised.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cleaning is another big thing that um like we learn how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Definitely know how to do it. Because that's
um
the one thing I feel like parents make you do. You gotta do some chores.
yep.
So I feel like if anything, like one thing we mostly gonna be kids mostly gonna be doing is probably cleaning.
Mhm. Um one thing when it comes to cleaning is that like we all learned how to hand wash dishes. Not many of us learned how to do um, dishes with a dishwasher. I personally don't like dishwashers because I feel like like I'm used to washing dishes and I feel like I can hand wash dishes better than a dishwasher can like wash them.
Washing, yeah.
Um, but if you have a dishwasher, it's important to teach how to properly set the dishwasher, and that includes like what kind of dish detergents to use. I had a friend in college who ran out of the dish pods
Mm,
that you can put in the dishwasher.
yeah.
And so he decided that instead of using dish pods, he was going to use dish detergent, like the Dawn dish detergent.
Mm-hmm.
So he like squeezes that bottle in there. Um, and he comes back later in the day to a kitchen that's like the floor is covered in soap and water and bubbles. It's like
Mm,
foaming out of the dishwasher. and he has no idea what happened. And it took us like sitting him down to explain to him that you can't put liquid
Yeah.
dish soap in a dishwasher,
Mm-hmm.
for him to know that, because he didn't learn that growing up.
Yeah.
To him, soap is soap, which I mean,
To all of
to
us, it
all of us,
probably is. Yeah.
soap is soap. But yeah, so it's important to teach that um, certain machines require certain specific detergents and soaps to
Mm-hmm.
make sure you don't mess up your clothes, your
Yeah.
dishes, your hands, your body, if it comes down to those kind of things. Just making sure you know what chemicals you're using.
Absolutely. I also put cleaning, like mopping down, because a lot of people don't didn't learn how to mop correctly, and they just swipe
True.
across the floor, and it's like it really is a right way to mop the floor.
Oh,
So I feel
absolutely.
like people should learn how to mop the floor. I feel like sweeping comes naturally, just sweep up the dirt,
Mm-hmm.
and vacuuming, like, that comes.
Yeah, that's true.
But mopping, I feel like, is a big. I don't see that. Um, I don't see a lot of people mopping right.
I'll say people don't mop a lot these days.
What they do? That little
I've seen like I there's a lot of sweeping, but I
sweep.
feel like I haven't
Yeah,
seen a mop in a household in a while.
yeah, that's true.
Hmm. Things to think about.
The next thing in the household that I think kids should learn, is how to fix like small things around the house.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that could be like, I know changing the light bulb is easy, but that can be like from changing the light bulb
Mm-hmm.
to fixing like the drawer on the dresser. Um, I don't know, maybe like when they get like 16, 17, maybe how to put like carpet down, maybe. Um,
Putting like basic furniture together.
yeah,
Like,
those things, putting furniture, like if you get order a dresser in the mail, know how to like put that together, maybe.
yeah. With that, I feel like it's important to always have a toolkit handy, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking like a full toolkit, um, because things come up that we don't typically think about.
Yeah.
So, like moving into my first apartment as an adult, um, I didn't think I need anything more than a screwdriver, for small stuff. Like fixing things wasn't a big like thought on my mind until like things started breaking or things had to get fixed, and you'd need like a hammer,
Mm-hmm.
nails, maybe a
True.
wrench or something.
Yeah.
Um, and suddenly you're like buying bits and pieces when you can just buy a whole toolkit that includes all of those things and have them ready for you. Make sure you have like screwdrivers that have the flathead and the Phillips head.
And like learning what those tools are used for too.
Oh,
Not
absolutely.
and me, I know how to use a hammer, how to use like the regular, tools, but a lot of the tools in there, I don't know like what it be used for, to be honest. So learning learning at least the little things, like basic things about what the tools um are used for too.
Absolutely. That's a good point. Um,
Got some more
After
things.
the household stuff, um, there's a lot of stuff that we need that we as women even
Mm-hmm.
don't learn about cars, that I feel like we should know as well as anyone should
Absolutely.
know, because we're in a day and age where everyone has a car
Mm-hmm.
or everyone has a motor vehicle of some sort that
Yeah.
needs oil, tires, and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, learning how to do an oil change or change your windshield wiper fluids.
Yeah, learning those basic things about cars. Even learning the button, even if you don't have your license, learning about the car itself, like
Mm-hmm.
where buttons and stuff are, or just where certain things are, the gas, the brake. I also think that learning how to, I feel like you should learn how to drive before you get to adulthood. I'm pretty sure, like in most states, you can get your permit at age 15 in like 9 months or whatever.
Yeah.
So if I feel like every kid should have the opportunity to go and do that, because I feel like once you get into adulthood, it kind of not that it slows you down, but I feel like it starts to get like a thing that don't get done at a certain time, I guess. Like mine, I didn't get my permit done till like I was probably 20 or something like that. And I didn't get my car until recently this year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I just feel like people like driving is another skill that we all need. So if you want to, eventually drive.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people they have that fear of driving sometimes. But when you're a child and if you have a parent like teaching you or somebody else teaching you how to drive,
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be like a little more beneficial to you as opposed to like you being an adult and you're like, dang, I'm just scared to drive and you just don't never do it.
That's
Because one
true.
of my coworkers, she's scared to drive and she didn't learn because she's just so scared.
Mm-hmm.
But she ready. I was like, thank you. You're going to get your permit. She ready to go get her permit. I'm just like, yes.
Aww.
So another big thing is how to write your name in cursive. When I was in elementary school, I'm pretty sure they brought up cursive probably once, just one time, and we probably did it that one day. But
Really?
every other day, it was all just like regular writing. Like we never learned how to write cursive, and to this day, I hate my cursive. Like I don't even know how to write every letter in cursive. Like I know how to sign my name because I've been doing it so long now. But it's just like before I had to sign documents and stuff. It was like cursive. How you write that? How you do that? Like my cursive was so bad. Like I was making up things. Like making up how the slant should go. Like that's not right. But like this should be really put back in school. Like when you're learning how to
Yes.
write, you might as well learn how to do cursive too. That's just like you know how in school when you learning English, but they have like the Spanish word, the basic Spanish words there too. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like that. Like you learning how to regularly write, but here go at least show me how to write the letters in
Yeah.
cursive, like something like as helpful as that. But they will need to know how to write their name in cursive because they're gonna have to sign documents, so many documents when they get older. So
Oh, absolutely. I'm surprised you didn't learn. I learned how to do cursive.
I did it.
I learned how to do cursive. I'm surprised because we're the same age. They taught us like we had a whole lesson on it.
I'm trying to tell you, I feel like in middle school or elementary school, I feel like we only had that one little practice.
they taught us we had to write like a whole paper in cursive to show that we could do it.
Well, we needed that. I needed no for real. I needed that. I want my cursive to be like
I want to know. I think that they need to I agree with you. I think they need to reinstate putting cursive in the curriculum because
for
it's
sure,
important to know.
for sure.
Like regardless of like if that the only reason they use it is for signing documents,
Yeah, at
they
least they
need to
know.
know that. And how are they going to know that if we stop teaching the younger generation?
hmm
Is it
They
just going
just
to be
scribble. You see a bunch of people just scribble for their signature. Whoop
oh yeah,
whoop.
suddenly it's just ancient family secrets start written cursive.
But yeah, that really is a big one. I like that one so much. Cursive
Oh yeah,
definitely need to be brought back in the school.
absolutely. Um, one thing I never really learned how to do, and I'm still in the process of learning, is how to handle like health insurance and 401k retirement plans. Jobs, when you start a job that offers these kinds of things, they just hand you like stacks of paper
Pretty much.
and they ask what you want to sign up for and what you want covered. And this stuff comes out of like your paychecks. And as young adults, like hearing that you'll be getting less money just doesn't sound good to any of us
Yeah.
because we go to work, we want to have all our money
Mm-hmm.
to live our lives
For
and
real
stuff.
though.
But
Yeah. For real.
like understanding like what these documents mean, um, understanding what's considered good health insurance versus bad health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
What are you paying too much for or too little for? Um, and those kind of things. Those are things that I'm still learning as an adult. And health insurance you typically have at a younger age.
Yeah.
So learning how to like make those doctor's appointments for yourself and what your insurance policy is because that's what doctors ask for,
Yeah.
is important because we still have like basic health standards that
Mm-hmm.
we need to take care of for ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
Mental health included. Some insurances include mental health. Knowing whether your insurance covers that or not.
Yep. That's true.
And as far as the 401k retirement goes, something that I learned at a young age that I feel like everyone should know is that retirement um, plans go with you wherever you go
Mm-hmm.
for the most, at least from what I've learned.
Yeah.
So the younger you start, the better you are setting yourself up for your future when you do retire.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's great to know that like starting at one job and leaving that job does not mean your 401k retirement money just disappears. That
Yeah.
money that you've been tucking away from your paychecks still will be there. And in some cases, some jobs match your savings um, up to 5%, 10%, depending on the job,
Yeah.
to help you towards your retirement. And it's a great investment. I mean, we don't want to work for the rest of our lives.
Right.
So keep that in mind. And it's important to learn.
Yep. Absolutely. So next we're gonna talk about money. So one big thing is taxes. I feel like everybody should learn about taxes, how to file taxes, how to what taxes mean, how to like fill out your tax information for your job.
Yeah, that's
And
another thing that they just, when you get a new job, they just hand you a stack of paperwork
hmm
and ask you to fill it out.
my first time, I didn't know how to fill it out. I didn't know what I was doing. I did it, but
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. I just filled it out, to be honest.
And they don't really sit there. And a lot of the jobs that I've been at, they just hand you the paperwork and they're like, okay, I'll check on you in a few minutes. Go ahead and sign that.
Yeah, basically.
So it's not like you have a lot of going into a new job. It's not like you have a trusted adult to tell you how to do it properly. So knowing beforehand would be definitely beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, so that's taxes, and I feel like everybody should learn how to do their taxes before it's time, because then it become unfamiliar. And I know, like I'm the one that like most of my siblings come to for help with all of the adult and stuff. So I learned how to do my taxes when I got to like 1920,
Mm-hmm.
but like I have to teach my like my brothers and sisters how to do it and stuff like that. And my also my significant others too. Yeah, I be teaching my partner because they don't be knowing either. Also another thing is learning how to build your credit. Um for me, a big thing that I didn't learn until after I was an adult was that I basically didn't have no credit. Like it
Yeah.
like I felt to me I was just like, oh, I got a credit score, what's my credit score? But like when you don't have I didn't have anything, so it's basically, girl, you don't have no credit at all. That's what it's basically saying. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so a lot of people just need to learn how to build their credit, and when they start out to know that they don't have credit until they get credit, I guess,
Yeah.
if
And
that makes
basically,
sense.
yeah, it makes sense. Basically, the way credit works is that um, companies want to know if you're credible to for them to give money to, and that you'll be reliable in paying them back. They just want to make sure that you'll be a reliable client that will make payments to pay them back if they give you money. That's basically all it is.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you have to find a company that's willing to take a risk on you for
Mm-hmm.
the very first time. Um,
Right.
yeah, it's an unfortunate process that I don't really agree with. I can understand why they do it on like bigger things, but like small things that like a typical like teenage high school like credit card,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like that just doesn't make sense to me,
Yeah. I know.
because that to me says like shopping spree more than it does responsible spending.
Yeah. That. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True.
um
True.
Also in finance, um learning how to budget and save is a big deal. That is super underrated when it comes to managing finances, because at a younger age, this is where children typically just want to go out with their friends and go shopping, and saving just isn't something that's cool, really.
Yeah.
Kids try and be trendy and cool, and learning to save and invest in themselves is not something that they're taught.
Yeah. And if we start teaching it, it'd be more beneficial to, you know, the children when they get older, to be honest.
Absolutely.
They learn how to save their money better, budget. I'm still working on how to budget and save my money.
Hmm.
It's all about, you know, self control, to be honest. But that's important for us to learn. I wish I would have learned.
The last thing in finance that kids should know before reaching adulthood is the important distinctions between buying and renting homes. Um, for starters, the price difference. A lot of people feel that renting is cheaper than buying, but that's actually the opposite.
Hmm.
Renting a place
Yeah.
um, is usually more costly and it's not permanent. At any point, you can be evicted from your apartment or home that you're renting. All the like maintenance and stuff that comes with renting a place
Hmm.
is based on time versus convenience to the tenant. And with buying, you can honestly see like a good couple $100 cheaper in terms of like mortgage payments. And if you have any like maintenance issues, things that are breaking in your house, you can get those fixed at your time, at your convenience, that like rental apartments and rental homes don't do for you. They typically just put you on a list and they just get to you when they get to you.
Hmm. Yeah.
And in some cases, like renting and doing that, they can come to your apartment when you're not home, and then you run that risk as well. That was a big one for me growing once I reached adulthood.
Hmm.
um, was I went into renting immediately when I was of age, and finding out that you can buy like a 3 bedroom,
Yeah.
3 bathroom house for less than a 1 bedroom apartment was just insane to me.
Hmm.
Now that's here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
um, but just like in different areas that I've
Mm.
seen around here, places that I've looked into buying houses, just knowing that price difference is just mind blowing to me.
I do think it's important for kids to learn, teenagers to learn the difference between, you know, buying and renting. I don't. I feel like I'm still learning about like those different things. I never rented an apartment and I haven't bought a house, so both of those haven't been in my journey. So I haven't really learned too much about it.
True.
But you know, owning my own house now is just learning more about everything else, like property taxes and stuff like that. Like I
True.
still don't know much about, you know, mortgages because I don't have one. So those things can be taught to
Mm-hmm.
kids, learning about mortgages, how to buy, how to rent, all that.
True.
The last thing we're gonna talk about is education. For education, we're just gonna talk about like the difference between like going to college and like going to like a trade school and stuff like that. A lot of adults, they basically advise us to like go to college because um, it'll lead us to success basically. But um, they don't tell us that there's other things that can get us to that same success. So I know with colleges, but basically like 4 years, maybe more, whatever you decide to do. So basically, what the trade school is, you basically like you go there and learn a skill.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it could be cooking, it can be plumbing, it can be construction. So those things you can take those things and also go and be successful with. Like if you go to trade school, for example, for cooking, guess what? You can go ahead and own a restaurant because you learn how to cook. You know how to be a cook, a chef.
Absolutely.
So it's like I feel like those kids and teenagers should know that I have options after high school. Like I don't have to just go to a 4 year college because honestly, everybody don't want to do that. Everybody don't like school. Everybody isn't motivated to like go and do 4 more years or go and do 8 more years because sometimes you got to do a lot more schooling to get to where you need to be. Um, Also certifications. Also, I didn't mention certifications, but you can also get certifications. Those are on different timelines. Like they can
Mm-hmm.
be sometimes it can be 4 months, sometimes it can be a month, sometimes it can be. It depends on whatever certification you're really trying to get. But those you can get as well and be able to get a job.
Absolutely. And in a lot of cases, like certifications can get you places quicker than
Yeah,
like
degree.
than a degree will,
Hmm.
because in a degree you got to go through the whole process with a degree. But in the meantime, starting with certifications, even for example,
Yeah.
in nursing, you can start with like a CNA, GNA certification
Hmm.
that'll get you in a nursing field
Yeah.
until you get your like RN,
Yeah,
BSN
that's true.
degrees. So knowing that there are other options other than waiting until you finish a 4 year degree, an
Yeah.
8 year degree, to get you into your field and get you that experience. And like that experience itself gets you places too. Your efforts and your hard work are definitely perks to getting into a job, but knowing people in the field, or knowing like the trade, knowing the job is also really important. A lot of places look for that experience. Nowadays,
Yeah.
like entry level jobs are looking for 1 to 2 years
Experience.
experience.
Yeah. It's
That's true.
more like the education part on like most of the jobs is preferred. It's not like you have to have it. It's
hmm
mostly like really the experience. Like they want you to have the experience.
Education is important. It's important to know in a career that you choose what the path options are and what path you want to take.
So that means do your research.
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
all it really means. If you're interested in something, go on Google and like do your research about it, and it should tell you different options you have.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning again to the last episode of season 5 with Two Village Girls. Please subscribe to our channel if you are new. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them down below. Also, go ahead and hit that bell to get notified when new videos drop. Please check out our Facebook and Instagram at Two Village Girls for updates and weekly inspiration. As always, we want to send you out with some positive vibes to get you through the rest of your week. This week's inspirational quote is by David Vitter. I continue to believe that if children are given the necessary tools to succeed, they will succeed beyond their wildest dreams. Thanks, Villa fam. Bye.
Bye.